For most of President Yoweri Museveni's third-year reign, Kampala has voted opposition politicians. But in the 2011 elections, the ruling NRM party made slight gains. It won 17 of the 30 directly elected councillor slots and 3 parliamentary seats in Nakawa's Fred Ruhindi, Muhammad Nsereko of Kampala Central, who later decamped, and John Simbwa of Machindi East. But in the just concluded elections, the opposition made a clean sweep of Kampala, taking 8 out of 9 parliamentary seats. In Nakawa, FDC's Michael Kabaziguruka ended Attorney General Fred Ruhindi's 15-year tenure on his second attempt, while in Machindi East, John Simbwa also lost to two-time contender Ibrahim Kasozi of FDC. But in real terms, the opposition holds all the 9 parliamentary seats in the city, since Kampala Central's Muhammad Nsereko, an independent, leans more to the opposition. In the Kampala Capital City Authority Council, NRM lost 17 slots and will now have just 3 of the 30 directly elected councillors in City Hall.
As the returning officer Kampala, I at this moment declare Lukwago Erias.
Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago, whose removal was apparently engineered by the regime without success, bounced back with a landslide victory, defeating NRM's Daniel Kazibwe, aka Ragga Dee, with a margin of over 120,000 votes. So why did NRM party register such a dismal performance? Political observers attribute this to fatigue from a regime that has been in power for over 30 years and the controversy in Lukwago's impeachment in November 2013.
So the urban people have a lot of expectations from the government, and sometimes those expectations are always unmet. And if they are unmet needs and expectations, then these people have a vendetta against the state.
What must have happened is a reaction to the presidential elections which happened slightly earlier. You can see that people were disappointed with the results as they were announced. Many don't seem to believe that their vote counted. In his first media briefing after his re-election, President Yoweri Museveni blamed NRM's poor performance in Kampala on reforms introduced by KCC Executive Director Jennifer Musisi, which he says were misconstrued by the voters.
What then government needs to do, instead of looking at it in a negative sense, government needs to respond. What are the people of Kampala saying? What is the message that has been delivered by this voting pattern?
Some of the voters NTV spoke to said their disappointment with the presidential election results informed their choice in the Lord Mayor and Councillors' votes.
Abantu banyivu ku kyaliwo. Bano bangi bali basuubira okuba nti omuntu gwe balonze agenda okukola ki? Naye bagenda okwesanga be balonze si bye amaanyi ne gabagwa kivuga nti bafunye amaanyi okuwaaba opposition okuyitawo. Era essaawa buli bwe basaze ng'ekisumuzo nga batikinga butiikirizi.
There is a shift in the politics of Uganda, whereby NRM has been hoodwinking people, like letting them think that maybe they are doing them good things. They have a lot of promises, of which these promises were never delivered.
NRM mu Kampala basinze kuyisaamu mateeka ga Jennifer byayagala okutugoba mu Kampala tubuliddwa emirimu tetulina bo bayisaamu byakajiiji na Jennifer Musi kwe kwagala tuwe ku bano osanga banaatutera eddoboozi.
Society is developed, is transformed through contradictions. So the contradiction in Kampala should be seen as actually as a force for good that could catalyze the development, especially democratic development of this country.
The opposition will have the tyranny of numbers in the KCC Council, tasked with budgetary allocations and oversight on the city technocrats.
This time it would be a little harder to impeach him, and so you expect a long drawn-out fight.
Whenever he expresses disappointment with city residents for voting opposition politicians, President Yoweri Museveni quotes them to someone trying to drink with a blocked straw. Now there are fears that if the standoff is not resolved, Kampala advancement may be derailed.
I think that now political maturity should prevail where the two power centers look for a common ground, because at the end of the day, it is service delivery for our people.
In his first post-election address, Lukwago said he would not engage in personal battles with President Museveni, but asked him to respect the rule of law. This was a clear departure from his 2011 win, where he bragged that he had defeated President Museveni and not his opponent, Peter Sematimba. Shunned, NTV.